All right, let's dive into the Cincinnati housing market, where, let me tell you, the data is telling a really strange story. It's a true real estate puzzle, and we're going to piece it together.
So here's the big mystery right up front. Cincinnati is, by every single measure, a classic seller's market. Inventory is super tight, homes are flying off the shelves. So why in the world are so many listings getting price cuts? It doesn't make any sense on the surface, but, well, the numbers don't lie.
We're calling this the price cut paradox. And to really get what's going on, we have to start with the single most confusing piece of data at the very heart of this thing. Just look at this number, 41.8%. Let that sink in. That's how many active home listings in Cincinnati have had a price reduction. I mean, in a hot seller's market, you'd expect that number to be tiny, right? Single digits, maybe? This is just wild.
Yeah, let's be real. This number shouldn't exist. Price cuts are supposed to signal weak demand, right? But a seller's market means demand is through the roof. They're complete opposites. They can't both be true at the same time. Or can they? Let's dig in.
Okay, so just so we're all on the same page, here's the textbook definition of a seller's market. Basically, it just means there are way more buyers looking for homes than there are homes available. The sellers really hold all the cards. They get multiple offers, higher prices, the whole shebang. So keep that in mind because it makes that 42% number even more of a head-scratcher. Now that we know what a seller's market should look like, let's put Cincinnati to the test. Is it really a seller's market? To figure that out, we have to look at the engine of it all. Good old supply and demand. Is demand there really as strong as we think? Okay, here's our first clue. In a recent week, 347 new homes hit the market across the Cincinnati area. That's our supply, the fresh inventory for all those eager buyers.
And here is the other side of that equation. In that exact same week, 427 homes were absorbed. That means they went under contract or sold. That's our demand. And you probably see the issue right away.
Yeah, that gap between those two numbers, that's everything. Think about it. The market is eating up homes faster than they're being listed. It's like trying to fill a bathtub when the drain is open wider than the faucet. This is happening week after week, squeezing the inventory tighter and tighter. And if you're a visual person, this chart just makes it crystal clear. That blue bar for homes absorbed is just towering over the supply bar. The market is absolutely ravenous. So, yep, this confirms it. Cincinnati is deep in seller's market territory. And what happens when you have that kind of imbalance day after day? You get this. The entire Cincinnati area has just 2.3 months of housing supply. A normal, balanced market is supposed to have about 6 months' worth. So yeah, this is an incredibly tight market. So we know the market is tight, but how tight really? To get a good feel for that, you've got to zoom out and see how these numbers stack up against the rest of the country. This table really puts it all into perspective. First, look at months of supply. Cincinnati's 2.3 is way tighter than the US average of 2.8. And then check out the median list price. It's a lot higher than the average for Ohio, which tells you something about the value there. But the most stunning number on this whole chart is the median days on market. That's all about speed. I mean, that is a massive difference. The typical home in Cincinnati is under contract in just 49 days. That is 4 weeks, a full month, faster than the national average. So we've confirmed it from every possible angle. Demand is sky high, inventory is rock bottom, and the market is moving at lightning speed. Which brings us right back to our paradox. Why the price cuts? All right, it is time to put all the pieces together. Let's solve this puzzle and figure out what these bizarre signals actually mean for anyone trying to buy or sell in Cincinnati. And here it is, the solution to the whole puzzle. Those price cuts? They aren't a sign of a weakening market at all. They're a marketing strategy. Think about it. The second a price is cut on a listing, what happens? It triggers a flood of notifications and emails to every single buyer who has that search saved. It's a digital dinner bell. Sellers are making these small, strategic cuts to create a feeding frenzy, drum up a bunch of offers, and ultimately sell their homes even faster. It's not a bug, it's a feature of this insane market. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that you have to read these signals together. That crazy high price reduction rate isn't a red flag. It's actually a green flag, showing you just how fast the market is moving. The absorption rate proves that buyers are still out there in force. And that 49-day timeline, that's your benchmark. That tells you exactly how fast a well-priced, well-marketed home should sell. And that leaves us with one final big question.
This fascinating strategy works because of the unique, super tight conditions in Cincinnati right now. But what happens next? Will this tactic just become the new normal, fueling the market speed? Or is it maybe the first sign that sellers are having to get a little more creative to grab a buyer's attention? A sign that a bigger shift could be on the horizon. It's a puzzle that is definitely not over yet.